All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Houston Texans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Here's Powell on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Wait, 20! Wait, 20! Sugar!
Now a first carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. First carry for Lamar Miller. And so Lamar Miller past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Here's Powell on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Right, 20!
Looking back to the air on 2nd down. It's Brady. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 44 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Play 20!
Again, it's Brady. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Quincy Enunwa couldn't reel that one in, and it's 3rd and 4.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Play 20!
Now Brady again. Found his target. It's Anderson. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Isaiah Crowell, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Jason Myers now for the extra point. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Come back!
A shotgun snap for Watson. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. With man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
From the gun, here's Watson. Looking long for Thomas. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Demaryius Thomas, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. So a tiptoe catch back of the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down in bounds for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work out it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skill.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying, thanks, Mom.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And this defense not giving him anything there, maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, 20!
On second down, here's Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
And the pitch goes to Miller. He's to the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Here's Watson. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the one on second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on second and 13.
Black 22! Black 22!
To throw on second is Watson. That complete to Lamar Miller. Miller with first down and more. And down to the 28-yard line. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Come back, come back! Hey, Black 22! Black 22!
Here's Watson now on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Green,
Johnson. And that is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And the Jets set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Brady to throw on 2nd down. He hits Herndon over the middle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Brady now on 1st down. This is Corral on the catch. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Let's go, let's go.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. That time a slant. Brady in general on those quick hitters, he just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate, but most of the time he wins before the ball's even snapped by his pre-snap read. Finds out where the defense is and delivers it to the proper place.
Throwing now is Brady. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brady. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brady going to throw. And that is incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half-second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's going to sling this deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Reset.
Here's a give to Miller. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Come back. Black 22.
On second down, here's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. It's the fullback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
20.
But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Letting one go deep for a noon one. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Down. Green 39. Green 39.
Watson looking to throw on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leonard Williams in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Down. Green 39. Green 39. Come back.
From the gun, Watson. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic mark? Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
Wait 20! Wait 20! Wait!
Now Brady, maybe a free play here. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. First and goal.
Wait 20!
They'll try and punch it in with Corral. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Wait 20!
To throw on second down, Brady. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. So what can Brady do here as he'll lead his guys up to go for 2. Now Brady. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Successive penalties have them looking now at a 1st and 20. They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. To throw is Watson. To throw on second down. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Jordan Jenkins. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back.
Now Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. If you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On 1st down, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Jets have recovered. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On play action, it's Brady. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And now comes the field goal unit on. And boy, this is asking an awful lot here. Maybe that's an understatement. And this from the parking lot, from an even 70 yards out. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking of future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jamal Adams. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
A first down carry now for Crowell. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Goal 50. Set. Present.
Now Brady throwing on second down. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for a Nunwa there. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Carry now for Lamar Miller. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Wait, 20! 380! Wait!
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for a Nunwa. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Looking back to the air on second down. It's Brady. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown. And frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Letting one go deep for a Nunwa. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Black 22! Black 22!
Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
Tiger!
From the 50, it's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
Well, he had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's scooped up by the Jets. The 40. 30, 20, 10, and hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken from the 7. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Richmond.
And the blitz does come. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Now Brady. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Enunwa, the intended target. And now it's second down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Brady to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final two plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Back to throw, Brady. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Brady got to have this one. Found his target. It's Anderson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. To throw is Brady. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. On second down, here's Brady. And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now out comes Houston. Only 1 timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have 1 timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
They begin with a run by Miller. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty.